Welcome, all right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to game number 2 of our final match of the weekend. It is UC Berkeley versus Cal State Fullerton. I'm still Stephen Turn Johnson. I'm still here with the one, the only, the S Ruff. Over to my side on the color cast, and that was a pretty nutty game we just witnessed.
Yeah, it really was. It's something that I feel like I've seen it before. It was very deja vu-esque of watching a J4 top lane just crush people. But I feel like it was J4 mid lane last time I saw it. So it's just J4 has always been that way with that burst damage. It just kind of goes away when you don't see him in the top lane. You only see him in the jungle and stuff like that. And he just comes out of nowhere and just beats a Gnar down into oblivion. So it's kind of interesting to see how it is. And it just snowball out of control completely for the side of Berkeley.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I remember looking at the damage charts, and you were actually the one who mentioned it to me, but he did twice the amount of damage as anyone else on that team. That was not UC Berkeley versus Cal State Fullerton match 1. That was the the J4 show hosted by the host with the most, Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny just crushing it in that matchup in multiple instances where he was outfought or outnumbered in fights. He was still able to pull it off and pulls it off with the clean KDA at the end, not dying a single time, even though playing such an aggressive build. We saw the lethality build come out from J4 with the Bladed Duskar, and I don't remember the rest of his build, but he was full damage. He had a Tiamat, everything going for him. He was just straight damage push J4 of old. That is something, again, I haven't seen in a long time, but I do recall players like Keen playing it back, like way back when Gravity was still a team in LCS. He played J4 a lot, and it did exactly what Sonny did with it, crushing people, because you can't deal with that burst damage. It's just so hard to deal with, and he can always close gaps, it feels like. J4 just, I feel very, very confident that the side of Fullerton will probably be banning J4 this time, just because of that.
Oh yeah, they were not prepared to go up against that unless they've got some cheese of their own. I mean, you always have something in the back pocket for like right when you're about to get knocked out, so maybe fingers crossed going to have something here, but I'd say more likely than not, J4 will not be making it through this pick and ban, and Sonny should not be getting his hands on that again, because, I mean, I don't want to say he solo carried, but it was pretty damn close.
Yeah, I mean, when you do that much damage to people, there's literally no way that Fullerton could do anything besides throw bodies at him, and he still was killing everyone. So, solo carry, maybe not. His team did some really good plays there to help out as well, but definitely pulling his weight for the side of Berkeley.
All right, without a doubt, and we are going to get into that pick and ban phase. See what else that Cal State Fullerton is not going to let on through, because honestly I can think of quite a few things that match that gave them a lot of trouble. Certainly the bot lane matchup, the Morgana plus the Ezreal, did incredibly well into Prayer and Bam, and once again I think top lane doesn't need any more mentions, because we have been talking about that all night long, because yeah, that was just absolutely nutty. I'm curious to see what other adaptations they're going to be going down through, and looks like not too much is going to change with the Camille, the Tristana, banned away from Cal State Fullerton, whereas Zillion, once again, plus that Gangplank, going to be banned away from UCB.
Yeah, and we're going to see if their last ban is going to stay true to what it was last time, or if they're going to go for that J4 ban, or they do have blue side here, so they can pick it up first themselves if they wanted to throw Bam on it in the jungle, or if they want to go crazy, maybe they throw Demacian on it. But I don't know if he's as well-versed in the matchup as Sonny was. Sonny just made that look easy.
There we go.
Sonny bans out that's the side of Berkeley banning out the J4, obviously not wanting to give it over first pick to the side of Cal State Fullerton.
I mean, maybe they're afraid Demacia was going to pick that one up, and Sonny, the prophet of J4, knows the power that that pick does hold. So that probably moves the Sejuani plus the Skarner up as probably a rerun of the jungle once more, but curious to see who gets that on which side. And oh, Sonny, don't play with my heartstrings like that.
Uh-oh, let's spin to win. Hey, here it comes. But it looks like they are going to pick up that Varus at first, though.
Yeah, that still is probably, once again, the highest priority ADC in the meta right now, going back onto Prayer. And curious to see how they're going to be able to play around the last game, because it didn't really feel like he had any chance to show off what that pick could do, what he could do on that. And okay, UC Berkeley, they're reaching definitely back a little bit in the meta here.
Yeah, Ashe is something you don't see too very often, really, especially when something like Tam is banned out. Tam is like the go-to pick to keep people like Ashe and Varus safe, because you just eat people and run away. It's super effective. But again, Ashe used to be that when initiator ADCs were in play, when you were seeing a lot of Jhin to go along with that Ash. The long range engages and the long range stuns and stuff like that was what you saw, but that's a couple of years ago now. It feels like Ash is kind of something that I haven't really thought about as ADC meta in a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw her was when the Jhin, the Varus, and the Ashe were like the top 3 beginning of Season 7. A little bit ways back now in the mine, but they're also going to be picking up the Skarner away from the side of Cal State Fullerton this time. So they want just a little bit more CC. And I mean, with these 2 picks already, they have so much pick potential on their side.
Yeah, and that's a very complementing group there. You have a Skarner ult that can be followed up by an Ashe ult, or vice versa. The Enchanted Arrow from Ashe can come in, and then you can follow it up with the Skarner ult. Lots of CC. Kind of good to see that they're picking these champions that work really well together. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like the Galio come out here for them as well as their last pick in this first set of pick bans. Because Galio, again, another hero that goes really well with people that like to be in fights like Skarner, or somebody that has a hard time getting out of fights like Ashe, being able to come into fights and lay down the law as a Galio, and it worked real well for him last time. So doesn't look like they're ready to pick it up yet, though, and they go with the Braum to their bot lane.
Yeah, once again, with no top laners picked out on this side, the Braum is going to definitely dissuade something like the Ornn from being picked out on the side. For Cal State Fullerton, not entirely sure if that's the entire purpose behind it, because the Braum plus the Ashe bot lane does still build up so much tanky potential. It's certainly not something like the Lulu, like the Janna, like the Nami that would super buff Ashe out of the way, but oh boy, more top lane bans coming out across, and that is one that can really get some damage through.
Yeah, Jace, when you think of top lane damage right now, it's normally Gangplank and Jace are your 2 big ones. Camille kind of sneaks in there a little bit, and then J4 last game showcasing his prowess. But yeah, Jace, a more standard ban, and then we see the Galio ban coming out now since they did go with that Braum pickup. I would expect to see another mid ban here as well if Cal State Fullerton has one in mind.
Yeah, even going along with all this, there is a little bit of room for some late game scaling. To go alongside the Ashe if they do so choose. They don't really need CC because of the 3 members already packing with Skarner, with Braum, with Ashe. That first thing that comes to mind would have to be the Azir. It's not been banned out for quite a while now and is on the board if you want kind of that early game poke potential while still being able to scale fairly well. It is on the board. Otherwise, if you want to go to something like more poke base, you got Xayah, not Xayah, Xayah's an ADC. But you have Xerath and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of options still on the board for UC Berkeley, and they will have the counter pick here. So curious to see which way they decide to go.
Yeah, if they're going to go for that top lane counter pick or that bot lane counter pick. And it looks like the Cassiopeia is going to come through in that mid lane, not the bot lane. Sorry about that. Mid lane pick. Something kind of always in the back of a lot of the higher tier players, like the pro tier LCS players' minds. Cassiopeia is just a monster when it comes to putting out damage if you are able to stack that tier and get up into the mid-late game with her. So it's a kind of a fallback pick, much like the Orianna you can see as well. Kind of safer picks that people fall back to.
Yeah, and that still means that there are 2 top laners left to be picked up. Morgana going to be staying on the blue side this match. Bam, I believe that's actually now Bam and Rafflecopter actually trading back and forth. And not Bam's not the support, but it's the supports rather trading back and forth. Kizak plus Rafflecopter. So gonna have to see what goes on. And yeah, Cassiope is a champion that we haven't seen in too long, and that is Jax, locked in for the side of Cal State Fullerton. So looking for a little bit of scaling, a little bit of split push coming out through, and I'm curious to see what Sony's gonna be waiting for this last pick here.
Is he really gonna do it? Is he gonna pull the full Huni and go Lucent against him? It is possible, but there comes. It looks like they're just messing with our minds here. Showing a little bit of crazy stuff, and a Wukong is going to come out against the Jax.
Oh boy, I have not seen this in so incredibly long.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a Jax top versus a Wukong. I mean, I probably saw it the other day in like Gold Solo Queue, but like Jax top is something that's not as common anymore either. That's almost as weird as the J4 going top. But Wukong straight out of left field. I don't feel like anybody plays Wukong unless you're just a solo queue pub star. I don't think I've ever seen him in any competitive play that I can think of off the top of my head right away. So it's going to be interesting to see, but obviously Sunny showing that he knew the matchup of J4 and the Gnar, and he gets the counter pick here. So I feel like he wants this Wukong Jax matchup, and I think we might be in for a treat if he pulls off the things he did last game.
I mean, Sony right now has one very linear game plan in mind, and that is go in, get kills, rinse, and repeat. And I mean, J4, you have to like hit a few buttons to go in. Wukong, you just press one and you're in, bang, bang. Look for that big impact ult too. So there's a lot of team fighting potential now on that side for UC Berkeley, but it is definitely reliant on the Wukong getting ahead in the early game, and Ash plus Garner still looking for some plays around the map, whereas I would wager that Cal State is a little bit more generic team fighty sort of style here, with still that Jax for the split push pressure.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a peek at Sunny's little OPGG profile here, just because I'm curious to see if he has a lot of Wukong played. He does have it is his second most played champion this season at a 73% win rate, which is nice to know in solo queue. But it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to pull that out in this matchup specifically. And surprise, surprise, his first picked hero this season was J4. So a very comfortable pick for him. So we'll see this Wukong, a little bit less games played on it, but we'll see if he's able to do this, have the same tremendous impact that he had last game.
Yeah, maybe knocking down Cal State Fullerton a little bit for not quite doing the homework on their opposing top laner, but definitely this top lane looks a lot scarier now for the side of Sony and for the side of UC Berkeley, because, I mean, Jax plus Sejuani, nice to have the Sejuani passive applying on melee attacks, and Jax is really good at getting up close and personal to his enemy top laner. That could be a real issue, especially if C-Noodle finally gets that roaming game going, but definitely going right on back to the last match we had, it felt like C-Noodle, he won out the laning phase, but then his map pressure was really lackluster.
Yeah, I definitely felt that them had a much better map presence from the mid lane than C-Noodle. His ultis, he had that one ulti top that did save Gnar out, save out the Massian, but every other ult he had just felt like it was the one of the Dragon Pit, felt like it was more hurtful to his team than helpful, and then I just never saw any real ults come out for him that felt like they were really, really impactful. And as a Talia, like, part of who she is being able to roam really effectively. Even if you don't use the ulti, using that wall surf from her passive to get that bonus movement speed allows you to try and out-rotate people. So in a game like this, where he's not against a Galio who has a global and he's against a Cassiopeia, I would really, 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 really hope to see him out-roam them in this matchup, and I feel like that could be a really big part of the chances that Fullerton has.
Yeah, certainly. And adding on top of that, the big thing we saw with the last match was it was just C-Noodle completely smashing is at them on the Galio versus the Talia matchup, and that might just be some of the mechanics of the matchup. Galio doesn't have the best pushing in the world, especially if he doesn't go for the early minion dematerializer in the runes, but this time versus Cassiopeia could be a bit of a different matchup, as I feel like it's a lot more skill-based there, and if is that them finds the correct engage, finds the right fight, they could be walking away just a little bit more in the early game, but curious to see if that actually does come fruition as we are getting ready to load on into this match. And over to that spectator delay and into that loading screen. See what runes do come out here.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're going to see too many crazy ones. I feel like it's going to be fairly standard across the board, and it does look like it is so far. Yeah, there's a Predator, though, except on this time for the Skarner. Obviously, it's long end milk tea on it instead of BAM, but the Predator pickup is something that's very, very interesting to see for a Skarner, because it can give you a really powerful impact, allowing you to get that burst of movement into a fight. And if you pair it with the Righteous Glory, if you rotate them off cooldown, you basically always have one of those movement speed buffs for you every time you're looking for a gank as a Skarner. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for that Righteous Glory to pair it with his Predator as well.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And honestly, I don't think I saw too many times wait a second. We also have a role swap as well. Bam, who I very distinctly remember as a jungler from last match, is going to be playing the Morgana on support. So curious to see how that also affects things as well. And definitely not what I...
Maybe that's their ace card.
That's it. Boom,
that's
got it.
Their ace in the hole is we're gonna switch roles. Our support's gonna play jungle and our jungler is gonna play support. Maybe not the it could be the trickiest ace in the hole ever. Maybe he's just like the most dominant jungle you've ever seen.
Right, maybe you never know. Give the enemy a false sense of security for knocking him right out with the best jungler in the West. So, curious to see how Kazek does actually make his way around in the jungle now, taking the Sejuani for himself. But, of course, our all-star, we got to keep our eyes on Sony in this top lane, is once again taking the electrocute against the press the attack coming up from Demacian. So, curious to see if he can also actually get an advantage on that top side again, because I feel like last match Demacian very heavily underestimated the amount of damage that could be outputted by Sony and his J4. Now we'll have to see in this game, is he going to do the same thing, or is he wised up just a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like hopefully he's wised up a little bit for the sake of himself and his team, obviously, because I don't think they're going to be able to deal with a fed Wukong, much less a fed J4 like they did last game. It'd be interesting though. He picked this matchup. You would expect Sunny to know what's going to happen here, so I would expect him to have somewhat of an advantage. Obviously, J4 was banned by them, but we'll see, as he's taking a lot of damage early on.
I mean, yeah, if there's one person in this entire matchup that should know some of the Wukong matchups, it would be the Wukong player himself, as he started taking quite a bit of pressure and quite a bit of harass away from the side of Demacian, and Demacian looks about 10 to 50 times more comfortable playing in this matchup than he did last time around. But do keep in mind, he no longer has the range into melee advantage. He does have to go melee into melee, so all it could take is one good trade. So he could be right back on this.
Yeah, 2 charges of that corruption potion already popped for Sunny already, though. So obviously, Demacian feeling just maybe playing a little bit safer here, able to win that early trade-off to get the health potions used. So that will probably set him up for at least a decent early laning phase here, where he should be able to at least just farm safely, as a little bit of trade happens in the mid lane.
Yeah, Izadam going a bit aggressive here at the start, but do keep in mind, oh, he's getting shoved right back in. Izadam has to cleanse and flash away. It's going to be followed right up in the first blood, going to fall once again over to C Noodle as the mid laner from the Cal, there we go, sorry, from Cal State Fullerton will be walking away with that first blood. And I mean, this was the matchup we were saying that this is where Cal State got a lot of their pressure last game, and actually where they got all of it. Is he going to be able to do the same thing into a slightly more aggressive matchup? And that is that them going a bit way too aggressive early, and is going to pay the price for it.
Yeah, he landed that knock-up, and that was just felt doom for Is That Them. He had to flash early, and then just the confidence from C Noodle knowing he could flash forward, had his Comet back up. It looked, or his Airy was back up. Sorry, I thought he had Comet. I missaw the icon there, but he actually had it back up, and that was what finished off the last little bit of health from Is That Them. And now he has a fairly substantial lead in lane. It's going to be a couple CS to start off, and that early gold, and he still has the minion materializer, so he should be able to start rolling this into a way that, again, as we mentioned before, he wasn't able to out-rotate the Galio last game. There should be zero way that he doesn't out-rotate the Cassiopeia in this game, and this is a great way to start it.
Yeah, most certainly, and Cassiopeia has been the recipient of some indirect nerfs, I believe on 8.2 when Riot added the single target abilities drawing minion aggro on trades. That does hurt Cassiopeia a lot. So basically what that means is if you have an ability that only hits one target like the Cassiopeia E, it didn't proc minion aggro, but a little bit of fighting on the top side. Demacian going to drop pretty low.
Yeah, as a mid laner, as you mentioned that I don't play mid lane, I play bot lane. But as a bot laner, you know that really well, that if there's a huge minion wave there, you really don't want to try and pull aggro, because minions will wreck your face. Minions don't mess around early game, especially when there's a lot of them. So obviously, that could have been the reason why Is That Them died there. Not something you would have thought about right away either, if you haven't played Cass in a while. So maybe a little bit of misunderstanding there about how things worked that gave C Noodle an advantage. We'll see if he's able to take it off and run with it here, though, as another knockup lands. Yeah,
even on top of that, it was Is That Them basically standing in the middle of an uncontested wave when he walked forward to poke, got caught a little bit too far, got shoved back around, and just completely destroyed in that laning phase. And yeah, C Noodle going to be looking to expand that lead as we continue on in this matchup. Checking around the horn, top lane still a pretty solid advantage in favor for Fullerton. Mid lane, once again, Fullerton coming out strong. In bot lane even, a little bit less so, but 8 CS lead for Fullerton. And hopefully we're going to see a little bit of jungle help to help out the rest of the UCB squad. But at the moment, Fullerton looked to be pretty solid.
Yeah, with that early early death from Cassiopeia and then how the early trade started up top, unless Sunny's able to make a kill here soon, there's like almost no winning lanes going for the side of Berkeley. The bot lane is not meant to win. Ashe is fairly defensive until later on. Braum very defensive, but into a Varus Morgana who can just kind of poke you down with their Qs, it's very difficult to even do much as a bot lane in something like this. So they're going to have to find their advantage elsewhere. They're going to have to wait for this Skarner and this Predator to come out and really make some an impact. It looks like he's already used it once, but it's almost off cooldown again. But Skarner's going to have to make impacts here because they only may be 400 gold down, but that lead is going to start growing and growing as this Cassiopeia is struggling in lane still at half health and less than half mana.
Yeah, Sony now on the top side, doing a little bit better in the back and forth trades. Does have the Corrupting Potion, now also has the 6, along with Logan Milk Tea hanging in those wings. So maybe looking for a fight to turn things around. He's going to go in as the game gets paused. That is unlucky right there. And that's actually potentially a game changer because depending whether or not Demacian actually figures out whether Logan Milk Tea is there, heavily influences whether he turns to take this fight or they has to run away.
Yeah, and it really does depend on if he knows that the jungler is there or not, and we're not sure what the pause is quite yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out here shortly. Hopefully it's just someone, no one seemed to DC or anything like that, but they do get a chance to pause here. Hopefully we'll figure it out. But yeah, I feel like if Demacian doesn't flash away here, he's in a lot of trouble, though. Oh,
without a doubt, he has to make his way out of this one, but issue is both Sony and Longan both have the flashes as well, as along with the Skarner ulti, along with the Wukong ulti as well, and Demacian might just be dead here. That is entirely plausible.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what Sunny was waiting for, too. I mean, obviously, he has his jungler up here to back it up, but he also probably has the damage himself to just kill this Jax by all lonesome. Like, even if the Jax burns his flash, he should be able to burn his flash counter-wise and still burn him down. We'll see, though. Obviously, weird things can happen, but we'll see what happens when we get out of the call.
Yes, what's going to be quite an interesting one to see, as we can see on the character screen down at the bottom left of our area. There is still execute available for Sony on the Wukong. He's going to be doing a lot of deeps once he gets out of this pause, but is that actually going to be enough? I think, yeah, with Longan, they definitely get that kill overall, and so we kind of been in this top lane to death for a little bit now. We got to also see where is the response going to come from Fullerton as we do look to resume this game. Sony's still on in. The flash goes out immediately. Here comes Longan T. He has the ultimate Counter-Strike available and does eventually lock him up, but Demacian, he's already in such a bad spot and he's going to go on down. Sony picks up the first kill for his team as this game does even out now in the 1-to-1 area.
Yeah, and only one flash that blown there from Sunny to match that of Demacian's. So no need from Skarner to blow his there. Pretty clean gank. Exactly what he needs to do. Try and turn the favor in one of these side lanes, I feel like. Mid lane is probably going to be a little bit too hard since C-Noodle already got that early kill and is already fairly ahead of the Cassiopeia. But looking to these side lanes where things are a little bit closer, he might be able to make an impact as he goes in the top lane and gets him a kill. Now he should be looking to bot lane as his probably as his jungle respawns, and maybe as his teammates go back and buy, they might have the ability to try and go in on this Varus Morgana combo in the bot lane.
Honestly, I wouldn't actually be shocked to see Longan make his way back up towards the top side. Sony now with the Tiamat is going to have the shoving advantage over Demacian. If he shoves that one up, they have pretty good vision control of that top side of the map, and they could just look for a straight up tower dive. As game number 1, it was Sony with the damage leading the way for his squad. They could look for the same thing in game number 2. But you are correct in the fact that Turkey Master does have a lot of ability to engage on these fights. He has the ultimate in his back pocket, and could have set up for a very deadly gank as long as Bam isn't actually able to defend any of it.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to rotate to the top lane here. They run into each other in the mid lane. Uh-oh. Is that them? Good flash.
Ooh, good cleanse away. Is that them? Has to run on away, but the flash from C-Noodle is definitely going to solidify the death, as that's the second one so far. And fighting on the bottom side is Bam looked like he wanted to roam up to the play, but here comes the rest of the squad. The ulti is definitely going to lock down both members, and that should be a cleanup as Turkey Master is going to actually flash forward. He picks up the kill in response. Looking for Bam as well, but there's not much left. That's all she wrote for the ADC. Prayer going to be traded back and forth for Turkey Master, and it looks like Ralph Helicopter will be the final one to fall, but no, flash away from the Dark Binding does get him out in the end. But overall, great play from Fullerton with some decent responses on both sides. But Longan, he's already on this top side, has the Predator and has the ultimate once again.
Yeah, he should be looking for that kill. Obviously, with the rotate from mid and jungle from Fullerton to the bot lane, that was actually fairly well done as the fight comes in, and there's the ulti right away.
Yeah, gonna put him right down. There just does too much damage on this top side. Longan's doing a pretty damn good job getting the top lane Ed, and you can for sure see the win condition coming out from UCB. They're still getting Sony ahead.
Yeah, at this point, it makes perfect sense to you as well. I mean, he's playing kind of the carry top laner that he started off with last game, and a little bit of damage there. They're trying to get this turret down, but they should be able to get on this next rotation with the waves, but they'll wait.
Yeah, I mean, here comes the jungler. Here comes Arcade actually trying to defend that top tower for now, and still without the first tower going on over, not too much of a differential really coming out on the board. Still less than 1k advantage for the side of UC Berkeley, and I wonder if they're going to just keep hitting on this top side, because currently there's no real response from the side of Fullerton. Though C-Noodle definitely making his presence felt a lot more in this matchup.
Yeah, they made that roam bot lane, and like I said, it was really good by Fullerton. The only part that really was a huge hindrance to them is they only got Turkey Master, and Turkey Master actually took out Prayer in that fight. So it was just a straight 1-for-1 trade bot lane, even though they brought 4 members bottom, and then they were able to use their jungler who was on the top side of the map and use Sunny with that burst damage to take out Jax, and they end up going. They usually get 2 kills and a ton of damage on that first top lane. So all in all, that was probably a win for Berkeley. A little heads up play from Fullerton to make the rotations, but C-Noodle needs to keep that going and keep rotating here to try and make more plays, because that is their lane that is winning right now, and that is who's going to be their carry more than likely into this mid game.
Yeah, but here's a good adaptation from the Fullerton squad. The combined pressure between Kizak and between C-Noodle are able to go and grab that vision control of the top side of the map, help out their top laner Demacian from really getting ganked repeatedly by Longan. So curious to see if that actually does stop a lot of these ganks coming on over. And another big thing is that there isn't really the first big item coming out from Sony just yet. It really felt like once he got the lethality last game, once he got the Duskblade, he was just able to straight up 1v1 Demacian, but I'm not quite sure he's there just yet this matchup. And already you're seeing the both sides of the map kind of spread out. As it does look like Fullerton is going to take the Herald themselves, whereas UC Berkeley, they've got their eyes on the Drake.
Yeah, UC Berkeley going to take... It's just a Cloud Drake, so most people would say that it's not that big of a deal. But it's always good to have Drakes when you can take them. But obviously, when you trade them for Rift Herald, it can be a little awkward. But good heads-up play from both sides, trying to claim neutral objectives while the vision was switched for both teams. Fullerton taking control of the top as Berkeley took control of the bot side.
Here comes C-Noodle. He has the Weaver's Wall available. Might be looking to lock down Sony. As, yeah, here's the full 3-man squad. Sony is absolutely... Well, he sees one person. He sees Kizak, and that does look like...
He saw him coming, so he backed off, and he does have the flash, so he should be able to get out of it. So...
Yeah, that is true. And once again, C-Noodle's not going to be able to use that play to make anything happen across the map. Demacian, the good Counter-Strike, able to deny a lot of the damage, but Sony, he's got so much deeps in his back pocket, throws down the Electrocute, and half health Demacian right there, right then. Though it does look like bot lane. It does look like bot lane's also starting to take on over, but check out the mid lane. Longan is here on the gank, has the ultimate, going to be dragging him right back on, doesn't quite get to the tower, as C-Noodle's going to be trying to fight his way out of this one. Ulti lands only onto the one member, but he does finally pick up the redemption kill. C-Noodle has fallen as Sony might just be looking for the tower here. He finds it. Counter-Strike does go on eventually, but is there enough damage to turn this one around? He gets the knockup with the ultimate, but 1-2 shots. Demacian going to be turning that one back around for the kill. Gives up the towers, but does collect the kill in response.
Yeah, a little odd of a flash there. I felt like he still flashed inside the Wukong damage while he was ulting, but still gets the kill, so it's not too bad. But that first turret gold, which is super, super important, does go over to the side of Berkeley on Sunny. And that mid gank was a little weird. I felt like it probably could have been a little cleaner from the side of Berkeley, but it does get the kill secure as Poison does do damage over time.
Ooh,
and
bot lane,
even though he's
Turkey
out.
Master, they're looking for the kill. They find, before he's able to put the Black Shield down, one more shot, that will do it. Another kill going over to UC Berkeley. But even to touch base on that last kill in the last tower, I honestly think that was so insanely rushed by Sonny. He didn't need to dive under that tower and just open himself up to the fight to take that tower. He had a long game milk team moving up towards the area. They could have looked for a coordinated play to shove Demacian out, but instead of taking the free tower and then potentially even a kill on top of that, they just lose the kill for the tower. Longin's going to get locked down with the counter-strike directly onto Demacian. The seismic shove does not quite land. So here comes the Weaver's Wall, and here's the 2v2 on the top side. Sony no ultimate just yet, so they're going to be full retreat. Kazakh throws the Glacial Prison, and it does in fact land onto the first member. Longin does bite the dust on this one, and this is certainly not going to be the perfect game we saw out of UCB last time, as they also trade for that bot lane tower. Only that 1.5k gold lead still going in favor for the side of Berkeley. It's still something, but it's definitely falling by the wayside every single moment here. But here's the roam up. Is That Dumb has joined us on the top side of the map, but so has Rift Herald. I don't think it's quite got the damage to take this one out yet, as Sony's doing a pretty good job keeping that wave clear game rolling. And very interesting rotations coming out from either side, as nothing really gained from the Herald going on over.
Yeah, it felt like a hasty use of the Herald after they got the turret on bot lane. They should have probably been okay with that. But the wave clear from Sunny here, just making it almost impossible to push with that Herald, as a little bit of damage happens in the jungle here. Fighting over that vision again, both sides.
They're banning middle lane, but here comes the engage coming on out. Look at Milk Tea jumps directly onto Bam, who gets completely locked down. Ultimate goes on over. 1-2 Turkey Master falls Bam right on over. Sony getting quite a bit of deeps applied to his face on the top side of the map, but will be able to walk out nonetheless, still with the flash, with the TP available. Does have Is That Dumb to hold the base for now, but so far just back and forth fights, as still no solid advantage is established one way or the other.
Yeah, just slight advantage in the mid lane for this side of Fullerton, and then the bot lane has the advantage, or the Ashe over the Varus right now. So just kind of trading on who has what advantage right now. Still a little bit of a gold lead for the side of Berkeley, but this Ashe already has her Essence Reaver completed and is looking to do a lot of damage, as we saw there, taking out Bam on this Morgana super fast, making it really easy with that passive from Braum to get that stun off as well, to just easy secured kills with the extra attack speed you get from Ashe when you use her ability. It's really hard to deal with, and she's starting to come into her own, gotten past that kind of weak early game phase that Ashe normally has. So it's gonna be interesting to see if there's gonna be a lot of enchanted arrows come along the map to get some kills here, or if it's just gonna be him shooting everybody down with his arrows.
Yeah, I do feel like Turkey Master is kind of the unsung hero of this game so far for UC Berkeley. Has been kind of quietly amassing this advantage on the bottom side, but Sony, he's just gonna completely take out that tower. No response from Fullerton at all. TP was available on the side of Demacian. Ultimate goes completely wide from Turkey Master, not able to find anyone with that enchanted crystal arrow. But here comes Kizek. They may be looking for a fight on the middle portion of this map, but so many flanking opportunities. TP available for both top laners. It's gonna get really messy if that started.
Yeah, exactly. The fight, the next big fight is just waiting to explode, and it kind of depends on who gets vision of who first. And right now, I have to praise the side of Berkeley for their vision control. They have vision of pretty much the entire bot side of Fullerton's jungle, as well as the river all the way down. They have control. There is nothing but red, except for one little blue blip in the bottom side of the river, and added one now. But they have some great vision control going for them. They know that Sejuani, this Kirsch's, is looking for those flash ulti ganks that they had last time as well. So if they know where they are, they shouldn't be able to get engaged on. Just kind of play safe and then look towards these neutral objectives that are coming up as an Infernal Drake is about to spawn.
Yeah, that's actually going to be the Ocean Drake coming on up here in just a few.
No, never mind. It is an Ocean Drake. I keep looking at the picture at the start, and it looks like an Infernal Drake. And
yeah,
I don't know why.
That would be delightful if that actually was the dragon spawning. But unfortunately, no. You gotta keep your eyes on the dragon pit itself, and this could be the first real 5-on-5 fight if they do want to tussle over the dragon right now. Sea Needle is on the tops of the map with no teleport to work its way back down, so potential advantage for UC Berkeley if they do want to start something up here. Rufflecopter going to be applying some stacks over to Kek, but
that arrow in mid.
Long and Milk Tea, he's going straight on in, gets locked down. No more gonna help him out right there. Though he is now coming around, not going to commit on anything just yet, and that was a few big ultimates and big abilities being blown on the side of UC Berkeley. Got to choose what they want to do, as they are now all grouping around the Ocean Drake. Probably going to be looking to knock that one right over.
Yeah, this should be. They have good vision, like I mentioned before. Pretty easy to take it when you have that good vision. They probably could have started it earlier, but a little bit of miscommunication there with their ultis. Obviously, Turkey Master was able to pick out Prayer with his enchanted Clister arrow, and if Skarner would have been a little bit closer there, that was a dead Varus instantly, and then obviously that Drake is 100% goes to the side of Berkeley. But they do end up getting the dragon either way, taking control of the objectives. And I know what it is. I figured it out why I thought it was Infernal Drake. Because in the regular client, it looks like an Infernal Dragon spawning. But in the LCS, they changed the picture to match. So darn you, LCS, for making my life complicated and having fancy stuff. But
yeah,
as we go on here, Baron is about to spawn. So it's going to be another big team fight probably coming up here. Or at least another skirmish before this objective is really kind of sought after.
Yeah, most certainly, and don't think they're going to go for it just yet, but I do want to keep an eye on the split-pushing members of Sony and Demacian are still looking to get back to those side lanes. I'd say big advantage here for Sony because he does have the Dustblade of Drakthar completed. Demacian still not quite on the Triforce. Curious to see if he actually is able to finish that on this back. He does have the 1.4k in the pocket, and it does look like he will as Team Map plus first item completed on both sides. Turkey Master are going to be going on in. They landed the kill, but the Black Shield comes out just in time. Good guy, bam, but that still means Prayer is going to fall by the wayside. Good 3-man Counter-Strike from Demacian. He's in the middle of the fight, but ulti comes around. Sony, he's on the back lane. He finds the first kill. He's going to look for the second one. And the ultimates come on across as well. Turkey Master kiting on around, able to solidify himself that other kill. 4-4-0 in favor for UC Berkeley. They were looking all game for how they wanted to break open this game, but that was the fight that put that one in the grave. That's probably Baron buff as well.
Yeah, with the Cassiopeia, there's almost no hesitation here to go for this 20-minute Baron. Basically, after you kill 4 people, Cassiopeia's damage is just almost unrivaled when going for Barons. But looks like they're trying a little bit to stop it. I don't know why is that them trying to pull off. Maybe he just needs to double make sure that the no sneaky smites come in there from Kirshek. But there was almost no chance for them to take it in that instant. Really good fight overall, I feel like. Unfortunately, Prayer gets caught out again by Turkey Master with an arrow. The Black Shield was there to stop the follow-up from the Skarner ulti, but again, their damage was too much at that point. The Black Shield was there to stop the Skarner ulti, and then all of a sudden, there's just nothing left to keep him alive against a Cassiopeia and an Ashe just shooting him in the back of the face.
Yeah, exactly, and Prayer is suffering a lot from being such an immobile ADC. That's the thing with Varus, and I think that's why he will be starting to fall a little bit out of the meta within the next few weeks here, because the resurgence of things like the Skarner, like the Sejuani, everything that wants to just lock him down, and dive combinations are incredibly easy to pull off against that sort of champion, and is that them also looking for the kill once again. Prayer cannot catch a break this match, but he will catch some Z's, as he will be sent back to a very long sleep for about the next 31 seconds. And 0-3-0, he is not having a fun game at all.
Yeah, he was recalling on a ward there in the bot lane, just got caught out, even though like, the vision game from Berkeley has just been so much better than the side of Fullerton. Fullerton had a couple minutes where they do, arrow missed, so here comes ulti.
Seismic Shove doesn't quite land, but yeah, it's just going to be the kill going down no matter what. Long and Milk, Skarner ulti 2 OP, and this is a Skarner who's feeling like he's putting down a lot of pressure around the map, and that kill could be yet another tower going on down here. They've got the Ashe, they've got the Baron up minions at their backs, but definitely a bit of a slower game so far from UC Berkeley, but nonetheless, they are pulling this one out in the end.
Yeah, a little bit slower for sure. They had a little bit of mishaps here and there. The early kill in lane, and then Wukong not having as tremendous of a fight. But here
the fly forward is that dummy, finds one! And Prayer is stuck back on that pool, but he's not going to go down nonetheless. Is that dumb going to fall also to the tower shot in top lane? Fighting as well, Demacian has the Counter-Strike, does end up going on over. One more jump forward could be the end of that. Mid lane still pushing in favor. So that was a trade of Prayer for Is That Them. On the mid side, Bam, Noodle, and Kizak, they're all here on the mid side with Longins already moving up towards that top fight. So UC Berkeley definitely cutting their losses, running just a little bit, and maybe regrouping around this top side as pings are going down on to Demacian, but no follow-up so far.
Yeah, that was a little ham I felt from Is That Them. He was able to get they were able to pick up the kill on the Prayer, but he just like ran in the middle of that fight, activated his shielding there from his actually I didn't even see what shielded him. All I know is that he had a big old shield, and I thought that he had his upgraded staff finish, but he does not, so I'm not entirely sure where that came from. And I'm trying to figure it out still. But he had a big old shield.
It could be the Braum with the... Oh, shoot. What is it called?
I guess it could have been the locket, but I just felt like...
No, the key, the rune.
Oh, Guardian and Locket.
Yeah, Guardian.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
The two of them combined makes more sense. I was like, there's no way that was just a Locket shield, unless there's some magical change I made. But yeah, he just got those shields and just went ham in there and then ended up getting turret aggro, and that's why he actually died, which is kind of unfortunate.
Sonny, he's going to be walking around Cino, not going to find him in time, so was looking for the pick-off play, but instead he's just going to be applying some pressure down on this bottom portion of the map, and definitely a good amount of gold, a good lead being built up here for the side of UC Berkeley off the backside of this Baron, but still haven't broken open this base just yet. Still a few more steps required to do so. And haven't yet also grouped up as 5. Don't want to force the 5-on-5 fight and would rather just keep this game split off.
And it looks like they're going to try and dive him, are they? Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah. Here
Actually,
comes the ultimate.
Up, though.
Enchanted arrow. It just goes wide. Demacia is going to be able to fight his way on out. Braum passive does go on. Knockup goes on across, but is there enough damage? I don't know, but here really comes Turkey Matt. Yeah, they want to murder this man. Flash away from Demacia. 44 is going to keep him alive. That's going to be the trade for the Dragon, but all this time... That's not just a play for the Jacks. That is a play for the Towers. UC Berkeley are going to keep this gold lead rolling, and they're not. It doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, they were very, very, very looking for that kill on the Jacks with all 3 ultimates from Braum, Ash, and Skarner used there. So unable to get him. They do get his flash out, which is nice, and they do end up getting another turret. They give over the Mountain Drake, but Sunny is going to make it a little bit nicer for them and get them a second tier 2 tower, which makes this push
not
really
sure
well
about
done.
that one.
Ooh, maybe not.
Yeah,
the rotations finally come out.
Gonna trade for a little bit of damage, but not quite the tower just yet, as here comes the rest of the squad from UC Berkeley. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is available once again. Do keep in mind that Turkey Master is still 1 item away from having the triple crit item. Wants to get the Infinity Edge as well, really start pushing out that damage on the Ash pick itself, but he's still doing pretty well for himself so far. Made some good plays. Got some good damage at this point, but it looks like they're going to be the rest of the squad from UC Berkeley coming on down to help solidify this tower. All the while, Demacian's going to keep this split push game going on to in the top lane. UC Berkeley, they're still pushing on up. There's the Predator being popped. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it lands on Noodle, but he's going to be going on in. Fine. Oh, that's just bang on the front side there, and there's no enough damage coming in. And here's the 4v5. Lands a counter strike into multiple member. Is that them going to use the ultimate? Push multiple people away. Turkey Master still safe on this backside. First kill going to be going right back on over. And here comes Sonny. He has the ultimate. He's not going to be able to use it as he drops to the tower. W out of Turkey Master is going to be able to pick up Cino on the back end of that fight. This is now a 2-for-2 trade. And such a sloppy engage. Ends up going even for UC Berkeley.
Yeah, they went a little too ham there with the Skarner, and they landed a stun, but he tried to grab, it looked like Prayer, but ended up having to grab Bam on the Morgana, and then Jax TP'd in, and it looked like everything was going wrong for them, until suddenly Ash and Cassiopeia get free fire damage on people, and then both C-Noodle and Demacian just eventually just exploded because of the damage the two of them are able to put out on these two champions. And again, it looks like another person caught out.
One more shot, and that's a stun, but there are 3 members still sitting around here. Prayer, he's not doing the best this game, but he still does quite a bit of damage, has the Rage Blade completed with the Wit's End, so definitely don't count him out just yet. Baron buff up in 25 more seconds, and that's got to be the way that UC Berkeley is looking to crack open this base. Top lane's got a pretty solid wave of pushing in a favor for UC Berkeley, along with the bottom side for now. So maybe a little bit more wave maintenance is required. Sony does have the TP advantage over Demacian, so maybe looking to split up the map just a little bit before going to this Baron. But aside of everyone else from Fullerton's already here.
Yeah, Fullerton really needs to get vision around Baron, especially since they did use that TP from Demacian in that last fight. That fight should have gone their way, and they probably should have gotten more out of it. But now they're in a point where Sunny's just going to want to split push, and there's going to be almost no way to deal with it. He already had that top wave pushing, so Jax is trying to control that. But Sunny is already on his way to that tier 3, and he'll knock it down pretty quick with this Wukong build he has. Lots of lethality,
faking the
lots
back.
of damage.
Yeah, that might be enough to send off the side for Fullerton for now, but yeah, once again, there is no response just yet, and good vision control on the bottom part of the map for UC Berkeley, and trading goes up and back and forth, but finally a response coming out from Demacian. Do they know if he has TP though? Because yeah, that is still the TP advantage very well in favor.
They should know that they have the TP advantage here because he TP'd into that last fight. Maybe someone didn't notice it. That would be kind of a a downer for the side of Berkeley, but they should be able to start this Baron relatively soon. And it's not just the top side of the map.
Ooh, Sony, he's coming on the flank for now. It's gonna be
the walkover, which is some of them they're probably not expecting.
A dark binding, but yeah, it's such a delayed response. But here comes the engage. They're on to Prayer. He could just be breaking down immediately on the backside of that fight. He's gonna go right on down. Dark binding comes out, does lock down Sony for now. As UCB, they are in the 4v5 position. They do have the positional advantage and the vision control around the Baron buff. Here comes that Weaver's Walls to cut off their attempt at the Baron buff, but that's just another ultimate down on the side, and I wouldn't be shocked to see UCB, University of California, Berkeley, moving on to the Baron nonetheless. And it does look like this will be a trade of Baron for that mid lane tower. Not sure if I'd use the word worth here, but still getting a little bit of something out of that play.
It's a tier 1. I feel like Baron is definitely worth a tier 1 turret, especially since they, again, still have a TP advantage. So now they're going to do a split push that's going to be very, very, very scary, I feel like.
Yeah, most certainly. And we saw the first Baron go on over without too much really coming off the back end. Sure, they got the T2s, they got the remainder of the T1s that were still on the board, but they didn't break the base really, and that's where you start putting the pressure on. That's how you deny out the scaling advantage, keep the other team consistently in their base, and keeping a bit of a number back on our bot lane matchup here. We do have the 2 lethality items on for Sony. Is this going to be enough damage? We got the counter-strike going out from Demacian, but that's going to be down already. Ultimate is available for Sony if he didn't want to go for such, but Demacian, he is quite tanky at this moment, has quite a bit of armor as well to boot, and Sony's going to get this split push game started, but 4 other members of UC Berkeley, they're on this mid lane tower, and that will be going on over. They want this inhibitor tower, and they want this inhibitor.
Yeah, this second Baron.
Ooh, Longan, he pops the Righteous Glory, wants to go in. Kizek finds the engage on the backside, but there's no one else to follow up. Demacian has a counter-strike, not quite going to burn it just yet. Ultimate only lands on one person, but you got to be careful with Prayer on the backside. But Sony's on the back line, he finds the first kill. Finds the kill on the Seedle, and that's going to be the second one going on overs. Oh, the discard ulti goes on, and that's 4 members now dead. Bam is the last remaining member, and he's going to fall too. That's a complete ace with UC Berkeley. Wiping house, they have the Baron buff, they have all 5 members. That's going to be the game.
Yeah, that was just well executed by them, trying to put pressure on and kind of almost patiently waiting for the picks or waiting for to get engaged on, where you saw Braum peel back really well there after the Sejuani came in, and then they just eventually just waited until Sunny could just ulti in and kill everyone is what it felt like.
And that's going to be the game, the set, and the match, and the playoff hopes still being alive. UC Berkeley pulling out a decisive 2-0 victory. Maybe not with the super aggro J4 in the top lane this time, but Sony still making it work there on the picks. But I have to say MVP for me for that game has to be Turkey Master on that on the Ashe. Was pulling through the bot lane matchup, still stayed pretty well even, but then just pulled it on through on the backside of that game and just kept that team in it.
Yeah, definitely not the early game ADC that you see normally as an Ashe, but once those Crystal Arrows started coming online, he was finding stuns onto Prayer constantly. When you can find the stun onto the enemy ADC, you're just opening up so many doors for your team that he really came through to do not just the stuns, but the damage later on that they needed as well. Just well played all around, I feel like, from the side of Berkeley, maybe having a little slip-ups here and there, but they really used their team comp to what they wanted to do. They kept Sunny doing what he wanted to do on a carry top laner, doing damage, taking the 1v1s, and then they kept vision control. And that's one thing I will praise them as well for, is UC Berkeley had almost everyone on their team had a relatively high vision score, including their jungler and their top laner, which is really nice to see because they just had really good vision control. So if you know where things are coming from, it makes the game a ton easier. So I feel like they could probably still make it to playoffs and do well if Berkeley keeps playing the way they are.
Yeah, certainly hopes are still alive. We'll have to see who they get paired up again with next week, because that one's going to be for all the marbles. Week number 6 will be the final week for all of our normal regions. That's the North, South, East, and the West. And all the 5-1 and all 6-0 teams will be getting a guaranteed spot into those playoffs, along with guaranteed scholarships coming from Riot Games themselves. So definitely still a lot on the line, but that will be it for this week's and tonight's coverage of the Collegiate League of Legends series. My name's been Steven Turn Johnson. This has been the SRUF, the one and the only. And thank you guys for following along with us. And if you guys ever want to catch up on some of the action that you missed, or maybe earlier in the season, whether it be one of our matches or one of our great talk shows, make sure you hit us up on our YouTube page. You can find the link down below. Also, shout out once again to Twitch, the one, the only, the bestest of all time around. Nothing but love for these guys over at Twitch, from PAX East to PAX West, and so many more events. The CSL would not be what it is today without the help and support for them. Be on the lookout for cool opportunities to get involved with Twitch in the near future, and be sure to show them some love and support on their sites at twitter.com/Twitch, facebook.com/Twitch, or just twitch.tv, those site you are currently on. But yeah, that's going to be it for us. Make sure you guys tune in back tomorrow. I believe we have our 4 p.m. Pacific time match for the JV League Legends over on C-Star League 2. Till then, catch you guys then.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, yeah.